You know what time it is.
Mighty on the scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
Yo, you forgot
Know
your
what time it
boy.
is.
Mighty on the scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
You forgot
Know
me
what time it
again.
is.
Mighty on the scene,
Know what time it is.
mighty on the scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
Yo, you forgot me
Know what time it
again.
is.
Mighty on the scene, the Grown
Ma.
Know what time it is.
Yo, it's your boy Freckles and we holding it down. Our take coming through when we taking the crown.
Mighty on the scene with your spiritual outlet. Hot and banging topics. Sports, we stay lit.
Know what time it is.
Wow. You know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
Welcome, everybody.
What's going on? What's
to
going on?
Our take.
This
Because
is
you
our
know
take.
what time it is.
Hey,
It's Mighty on the scene, and it's your,
your
boy.
boy. It's your boy Freckles. Listen, can they see us right now, or is it just vocal?
You know what? I'm gonna share at the same time, but I don't know. Do you want people to see you with that thing on your like?
Yeah, you know why? Because I'm just gonna make it's a little statement piece. Real
I
quick.
figured you were.
A
I
little
figured you
statement
were.
piece.
Okay, I figured you was doing a statement piece. Let me share at the same time, but they're here on video.
Oh, word.
So yeah, so we're here on the radio, and
Good.
hold on, I'm getting ready to share. Let's see.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I
I'm
got
sharing.
my.
I think I just shared.
Okay,
shared.
while you sharing, I'm gonna go ahead and let me adjust some things. I got my iPad. My iPad is turned down kind of low, which is I'm gonna tell y'all why, which it shouldn't have been like this. But I was in school and I turned it down because my professor was so loud. I didn't want to hear his voice. Shh, don't tell him I told you. But there you go. Now I gotta turn it up. Now it's up. Now I can hear better.
Oh, now you can hear. You can hear.
Hey, I can hear better.
You hear loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Clear and loud. loud.
Microphone check. 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2. Yo.
Wow, that thing looks so funny. If you don't stop playing,
No.
then all right, then we can go. We can go.
No, don't do it. Don't know. You see that's acceptable. No, I word this is because it's funny because I know trending topics. So we're gonna have today is just we having a conversation. It's a conversational piece.
That's why I said a rap session.
Yeah, it's a little rap session. So I'm wearing this because I don't know if you heard. Did you hear about Monique and telling the young ladies about wearing that bonnet?
Oh, you was wearing that bonnet. Oh, well, I'm putting on my
It's a bonnet piece. But as you can tell, I'm in my bedroom. That's the only place it's acceptable to wearing your bonnet is in the bedroom.
That's the only place. That's the only place.
Other than that, like she said she's gonna tap y'all young ladies and tell y'all to take it off y'all daggone head. Oh wait, it's stuck. Okay. No.
Well, so then I need to take my.
No, you could because she don't talk about those. She was talking about just the bonnets, and she tried to say, she was trying to empower our young ladies of color.
Okay, hold on one moment, please. Go ahead. You keep talking.
Talking about but empowering the ladies of color, telling them not to be wearing their bonnets out at the stores, I mean wearing it at the malls, at the airports, because y'all look crazy. She wants you to look like y'all love yourselves. And so that was just say it again. Oh, I thought you said something.
I was saying something. She does have a point.
I think so too, because I remember having this conversation with my sister, and this was years ago. So my sister was a lot younger, and I would tell her, I'm like, listen, I'm not going out in public with you if you wear it on your head. You look crazy, take it off. But my words were a little different. It was a lot more harsh than that. But my heart.
Yeah, you can be harsh though. You can be harsh
sometimes, But my heart is that. Listen, you got represent yourself better than that. We wasn't raised like that. And that's what her heart was. Listen, that's not the way you're supposed to be presenting yourself. Like if you want people to take you, professionally, or you want people to take you serious at all, you gotta look like you're taking yourself serious. So that was that one, and I could appreciate that.
Okay, so just like Freck said today, there wasn't too much of a topic. What we were going to do was having a rap session. Some of the things that's kind of on our mind. So that's what was on his mind. We have some other things that we were thinking about and that we had on our mind. So basically, we're just sharing spirits of the mind.
The sharing is caring. So let's share.
Yes,
Speaking of Karen, all right, this is the last little tangent. Speaking of Karen, so they lifted, you don't have to wear the mask and stuff like that. So some places you don't have to wear the mask. Walmart being one of them. There you go. Boom. Walmart being one of them. So I didn't wear my mask in Walmart. You know, I wanted to feel what it like to be freedom. I wanted to feel what it like to be, the normal, back to,
Be able to breathe.
BC days before COVID. So I was in the Walmart minding my business. I was there with a friend and he said, yo, surprisingly, there's a lot of people in here without their mask. And the lady in the other aisle was like, but you should wear it. And I was like, ma'am, you do not want to open up this can of worms. I'm about to drop some bowls on you. I was like, miss, please don't. Like, we in a conversation in aisle 3, you in aisle 2.
She was all up in it.
She was all in it, but she kept going. So I was like, because he didn't hear it, because he a firecracker. Like, he would have went off, but he didn't hear her. And I was like, no, like, she's over here, and she just kept on going. And I was like, ma'am, you do not want to do that, miss. Mind your business, Cam.
Yeah,
please.
you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to go there.
Because people have that. The thing, this is what it is. People can feel how they feel about it, but everybody has their rights, and you have to respect it. You got to respect if you want to wear a mask. You got to respect if I have that opportunity to not wear it. If I have that option, when we didn't have the option, I have a mask on. If I have the option and I'm opting to not put my mask on, you have to respect it. Like I respect you wearing yours in your distance. You get what I'm saying? So that it was one of those moments.
True, I understand. I was just putting it on for the special effects.
I see. It's all blinged out and everything. You got
bling, got the little breathing.
Every time I come around your city,
the little breathing thing.
Look at that.
Little filter.
Oh, wow, look at you. You're just fancy. See, now you have all that.
I'm fancy, huh? But okay, so all right. So guys, if you don't realize, I know you guys are on the radio and some of us can see us on Facebook and Instagram. What it is that it's kind of hot where we are right now. So we're kind of tank topping it out here. We're doing the tank top thing.
I apologize.
And see, the random black guy, he's not even on the screen because he has less on than us.
Exactly.
So we ain't even gonna tell y'all that.
It's hotter than stolen property out there.
Listen, it's hotter than Satan's thong. I keep on telling them, listen, it's blazing at the top of R&B, and I
know Satan had a thong.
At the same time.
Oh my goodness, this is too much. Okay, so all right, so that was one of the things. There's another thing too that I like. You were talking about the mask and everything like this, and I'm gonna tell you honestly. And I had people, and I don't even get into a conversation or argument. I said, so how many of you guys took the flu shot this year?
Hello and goodbye. Hello.
Silence dropped among us.
Hello.
Come on now. How do you get your flu shot every year? All of a sudden this year you don't have to. COVID's not like the flu. It's this, and this, and they're not the same. But wait a minute. So how come all them people that always get the flu shot every year didn't run out and get the flu shot this year?
What about the numbers for the flu shot? And do you think that influenced the numbers?
Did anybody? There was no, I don't think, I didn't catch the numbers on the flu.
Bad day.
I don't know about the.
Bad today. You're being controversial today. I'm telling on you. Controversial today.
Think about it.
Things
Just
that
little
make you
things.
go.
Just little things. Exactly. And the one lady's like, oh, well, this, and this. I said, wait a minute, but did your doctor tell you to go? She said, well, no, he didn't, because what happened was he told me to do but wait a minute. So why, when you take the flu shot and then when the vaccination came out, take the COVID vaccination? Like, wait a minute, why was there one or the other? Why wasn't it both? I mean, because you take your flu shot every year. What happened?
That shouldn't have changed, right?
That exactly.
Oh,
I don't get it.
Can y'all hear? I'm gonna have to
dog barking?
I'm so sorry. So let me tell you, I'm taking care of a child that's not mine, and this little bastard child keeps on barking, and I'm not used to it because my dog is so quiet. She's an angel. She ain't an angel, but she give me.
She is. He put it on mute right now, so for those that don't know, so that he can yell at the little doggy. And see the doggy shut up.
How it is when you have kids. I wouldn't know from a
No, them little Yorkies is a pain.
Lord Jesus, God.
They bark when the wind blows.
Oh my goodness, this is crazy.
They're all bark and no bite, but that's all they do.
Oh yes, he barks. So he'll bark at Bucana. Bucana's she's a French bulldog, but she got some stock to her. And he's a little tiny Yorkie. he'll bark at her and then get behind me. And then he'll bark at her again and get behind me. And she just be looking at him like, bruh, I could eat you.
Yeah, right.
And it's the funny thing, because he'll bark, he'll get on her face, and then he'll run behind me. Even my cat be tackling him. My cat be tackling him. Yo, it's the funny. He'll bark at the cat too, and then he'll run behind me. The cat's a kitten, and they're both same. They both the same.
Nice.
The funniest thing.
That is something. You know what though? Shelly had a show. I think it was on the PPC show, the show with Shelly and Cinda. And they were talking about, they had a lady on there and she was talking about she's a dog whisperer and stuff. And she's raising French bulldogs.
Oh, really?
And she was, yep. And I made a comment because I was saying how she treats her dogs just like human. I said, and that's what my son does.
Oh, yes, I do.
I said, I'm telling Shelly how you wanted me to try the darn dog food, talking about something. It's human, you can eat it.
It's human grade. It's human grade. It's human grade dog food, meaning that it's the same equivalent to the regulations you would have for food that you put in your own mouth. Now, I don't eat meat, or else I would have tried it myself. That's why I offered it to you.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, you don't eat meat. Okay, right.
Yeah, I don't do that.
So I go to my son's house for him to offer me some dog food. That's nice.
No. See, put the human grade in there, because they make it seem like I ain't.
Oh, human grade dog food.
Human grade.
Oh, so that, yeah. So
meaning if I put it in the pan, made it look real cute and nice, you wouldn't even know the difference. I put it right in your food.
So now I gotta watch out for that, because you might do that.
Next, would you like to come over for dinner later after the show?
Yeah, no, yeah, sure. Me and Bukana.
I think I have some.
He's slipping you Mickeys?
I think. Wait, you gotta. So for those, we always get this generational thing, right? Let me tell you, old school. That's their generation. They call it a Mickey. Us, it's a roofie. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it's not a name, y'all. Y'all probably out there confused. Like Mickey, who's Mickey? Mickey is something to somebody's drink. It's not a person.
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine.
Yeah.
Mickey.
It's not a cheerleader. It's not a guy. Ooh, hey, Mickey. Hey, yeah. It's not that. It's
Oh, I'm so done. This is crazy. Okay, so today one of the other things that we were going to talk about was accomplishments. You were saying, but you know what I was realizing, Juan, when you were talking about it, and you were saying like the accomplishments and different things, a lot was learned about individuals and people themselves during this pandemic.
Yeah, for sure.
During the pandemic, definitely. And there is a lot of things that are in place and was put into place only because COVID. Yeah. And it had you, complacent. It had you stand still to be able to soul search and do different things that actually helped us to mold into where we are right now.
Happened in a nutshell. God set the reset button on the world because y'all just wasn't listening to him. You know how you be messing up at night and your mama say go to bed and she come and turn the light off and say, don't make me come back here again. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what God did. He hit the reset button on the world. He put everybody on the same playing field, whether you're rich or poor. Everybody was home and everybody was concerned. And it made us take a look at what's going on in the world. And that's why you have so many changes, because when you out and about and you moving about, you don't pay that stuff no mind. But you sitting at home scratching your underarms all day looking for content, stuff starts to make sense.
Boom.
Yeah, that's when it starts to get
on it.
Drop them bombs on it. And I believe the same thing. Like it's interesting because I look at it as, again, I'm a very visual person. So I look at it like when you're in a room and you got the TV on, and it's the old school TV. So it's not the new ones. It's the one with the, the little gray screen that makes sense. And it's turned up really, really, really loud, and somebody's trying to type a conversation with you over that loud behind sound, but you can't exactly hear everything they're saying. I feel like COVID was when that dial tone to that went down to zero, and you had an opportunity to think clearer and to see and hear a lot more. I think it was very interesting because, again, it happened in 2020, not to be all corny, but that is, it was a year of vision. I feel like there was a lot of vision and a lot of different things that came into fruition only because we had an opportunity to really set back and slow down our lifestyles and the way we were living it. And so when I asked that question of like, what is one of your greatest accomplishments, I kind of just wanted to see where your head was at. And it's funny because I didn't tell you like the whole COVID thing, but that was where like after seeing what one of your greatest accomplishments was, future-wise, where do you see an accomplishment that you want to accomplish being, or what would that, or what do you think that is? And I felt like the answer was going to have something to do with having an opportunity to get to that place because of COVID, or at least for me it was. So that's where my mind went.
Yeah, it did. And then I was thinking, to be corny, like, you know, my greatest accomplishments were my children.
I knew you were gonna say that. I know she's gonna cop out. She's gonna cop out and say that this gentleman right here, which is true, you know, this young face.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one.
This face right here was
Thank
your
you.
great accomplishment, which I agree. I'm like, you know what? God bless America. You know, God bless that day, the 13th of May. You see how I rhymed with it? God bless that day, the 13th of May. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't just me. Though on that, I'm not. Though on that day, I was the first. You know, I'm not the only. But remember that I was the first. Not the only.
Whatever.
Then the others came.
Yeah, I mean, it does, because when you look at it really honestly, you see you guys in a different, you see your kids older now, and you see them thinking for themselves and doing things. Well, you know, you still kind of help out, but you say, okay, because it was like when we said about planting seeds, and you plant seeds, and you know, and it comes back, and you just look at just some of the things, like I sit there and I say to God, I said, thank you for instilling me, or giving them to me. And it's like, you try to just do what you can so that you can plant the seeds of Christ in you guys, you know, and regardless, at the end of the day, even though you've gone on and you lived your lives, and you do, you know, different things, you try, like you even mentioned, oh yeah, Mom, I tried this, but you know, and I tried this, like you did different things. It's like almost like, okay, you still reel it back. It's like, you know what, you go out, you fish it, you throw out your rod, and you're out there, but you still kind of reel yourself back. And and I think it's contributed to actually having certain seeds planted in you with Christ, and also having a conscious or thank you. Yep. Like things that you try to instill into your kids. It's like, you can't live their life for them, but you want to just drop some little seeds in there to be like, you know, okay, well, you know what? So when you do those things, you think like, oh, wow. You're not thinking for just a moment. You're thinking beyond the moment.
Yeah.
Which sometimes, you know, it's so, I mean, you know, like I said, I thank God for that. I thank God. I even some of the kids that I've made an impact to in their lives, and I'm not their mother,
biological parents.
Yeah,
you know,
that they may have called me
spiritual parents, or a spiritual auntie, or you know, you still influence plenty.
Right, because even honestly, even thinking, like when I was thinking about Damati, because I think about her sometimes, and she's no longer here with us, but she even came to me and said how much she appreciated me. Did I ever tell you that? She had a moment where, yep, she came to me, and I want to say, it might even have been in a letter, but she told me that all of the stuff that she kept doing to me, I was still always there. I still loved her regardless. She was like, she said, I did this. Like she was naming stuff, like she was really, you know, and I almost think like being a foster child, sometimes you do those things because you try to push people away.
Yeah,
purposely.
Or just maybe stick around. Like, you know, like,
yeah, to see if you're going to stick around through it. Yep.
I'm in the system because of the way I am. I wonder if she stick around if I act like that. Does she know how I really am? I think it's nice.
Exactly. If she sees the real me,
stick around.
Yep. And she sat there and she said, even through all of that, she was like, you still were always there. Like she knew she could always still count on me being there.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I hold on to now that she's not here. I hold on to that conversation or that moment, because to know that I actually had an impact on her life in that area, to where not only did her parents both lose their rights, like they had my name in the paperwork. in the system. Like, it was crazy. It was really crazy. But beyond that, it was the personal relationship that I had with her that I sat back and I thank God for, because even instilling certain things into her, not being around as much, but as when she was, she was around a lot at one time, but just, being around, she knew, okay, well, I don't care for this. I don't like for you to do this. I don't like for you to, like, she knew, okay, she wouldn't curse around me. She wouldn't do, like, there's a lot of stuff that she would not let me see, or she would not do, because she respected me.
Yeah.
Knowing that I also in turn gave her the respect that she deserved, as long as she treated me the way she did. Because it's a two-way street.
Of course.
For parenting, I just want to make this one little Father's Day is coming.
Yeah.
For all those that are listening, this is what I don't want to see y'all do. Stop claiming single mothers. Oh, this is my day too. No, it's not. You're not a father. You do not have the physical anatomy to be a father. You're a single mother. That's it. You're a mother. You're not a father. I am so tired of seeing these, especially on social media. That's my day too. I want my present too. What?
Yeah.
That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah, I don't do that. I am the mom, and I know that I am the mom. We have a little joke because we say Shelly's the dad, because she acts like a dude a lot of times with her, like, I don't know how I was like, you think too much like a guy. Like, she could just move on with the situation. I'd be like, Shelly.
We have that in time. A lot of times.
So she was like she's one of the, like how a guy does in retro of things. It's like, Shelly. She's like, oh, well, you know what? Move on. Go to the next thing. I'd be like, I can't look. And she just, so we would crack jokes all the time. And we would call her the dad just to be messing. But that was like an ongoing thing. But I would never say I'm a mom and a dad.
No, yeah, and I think it's about that. I what I was going to talk on and speak on a little bit is that I think it's important to have like who you are and how you are represented, because I think you see that in a lot of different people have those, like who you are. A lot of other people have those as well. I think it's important. I think even just to bring it back to like a village helps raise a kid. There's a lot of like spiritual aunties, spiritual moms that have helped raise kids. I've had a lot of those in my life, and without them, I wouldn't be the man I am today without their influence in my own life. And so I think that position and just who you are and what you bring in that aspect alone says a lot about your character. And it's something that's very much appreciated, because I know, I think everybody got like the street auntie or the block, like you were that, you're my mom, so you can obviously be the street auntie to me, but I have my little street auntie, and to this day, like that's somebody super, super close to me, because that's someone who invested into my life, and that's someone who's spoken to my life. I'm in the same way in which you do for other
can't claim something
women as well.
I'm just one for accuracy with certain things, and that's just something. Being raised by a single mother, I was always taught that I can't never teach you how to be a man. I can never do what a man.
Of course not.
And I fall beholden to that. It's like people, you have to. I guess I'm one about certain. Like, I had quite a few people say thank you for your service on Memorial Day. Well,
yeah,
thank you, but that's not Memorial.
But that's not Memorial Day.
It's about those who have
it's
fallen.
Not about it, at least. Yeah.
Not just the fact that
some people don't know though, but yeah.
But I mean, if you make, that's not a false claim. That's a misunderstanding. I'm talking when I'm talking about the mothers. That's a false claim. Period. You're not a father. You never will be a father. You don't have the anatomy to be a father. Just like I don't have the anatomy to be a mother. Don't take that. It's just, that's just my take.
Yeah, no, he got, he's got his take. We like you said, we come in with it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying totally.
One of the things on while you were talking about that though was the importance. When I was saying about the importance of that, I say that because what I was gonna share as one of my greatest accomplishments, I feel like, at least for me, is going into the military. So I guess it just kind of ties into what you just said, actually, too. Going into the military, I think that was for me, that was a big accomplishment. Not only because, but solely the reason.
Okay, can I ask you an honest question, Juan, real quick?
What's up?
Did you join the military because you needed a job or because you needed to?
No, so that's actually that's what I'm about to speak on a little bit right now, because that was part of my inspiration for joining the military. Was I had a father who was in the military, and that's how he provided for our family, and I seen that at a very young age. And then I also knew, knowing that my dad was someone who was just always there, someone I looked up to, someone who's like a hero in my eyes. Him being in the military, it influenced me a lot. And so I was given two choices when I got out of high school. My dad kept it pretty clear, and he said either the military or you're going to college. And so I was planning to actually go to college, and then some things came up with financial aid, and I wind up being like, all right, well, this is my sign to go to the military. And I did the military because I trusted my father. I knew he wouldn't steer me in the wrong direction, and I knew it was going to be a great opportunity once he sat down with me and explained everything that it entailed from experience.
Right, right after I filled out all the paperwork, put all my information on the financial aid.
No, so what it was?
Yes, I did.
Can I give the
I
real
did all of that. I filled everything out.
The real tea, because we will say it right here. The real tea, as these kids be saying, is that my mother did not fill out her social security number, and you didn't want to give it to me because I've been doing my own financial aid since high school. Because you didn't want to give me your social security number, and whenever you put it in, I don't know if it was too late or whatever, when I went and signed up for classes and everything, that was the part that was missing, and that was the reason I couldn't go and start my classes. But
you went through you said, you was leaning towards Mike. You kept looking for I said, I'm not giving Michael my social security number. He's like, oh, but my dad this and my dad that and my dad's doing. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Give me because I was filling out financial aid. You didn't want
that. That wasn't what you told me at the time.
For the military, Mom.
You said you was like, oh,
it was for school. Trust me. This is one of my.
All right. I know I filled the paperwork out. And the next thing I turned around, you was like, I'm joining the service. I said, what? So I was like, what did I fill all that stuff out for? I talked to the lady down at the office and everything.
Did it work for you?
I talked to the lady.
It worked out. Yeah, it worked out perfectly fine because in the end, I believe it was a decision that I made that bettered my life. One of the other reasons, because I still seen college as being something that I wanted to do, I knew that it would pay for college. So I knew that I would not have to worry about money for college if I joined the military. Another thing that I really enjoyed as a kid, my parents have always taken me around. And so I've been to different places as a child. I've been to different places, Jamaica, different islands, all that stuff. I love traveling.
Yes, by that time I was a single parent taking you places, but yes. Okay.
I knew that as an adult, I wanted to travel different places that I knew that it was going to have an opportunity to do because of the military. So that was another one of my driving factors. The reason why I say that this is one of my greatest accomplishments is because, again, in retrospect, looking back on the situation, but even coming full circle to now, I believe that the influence my father had in me joining the military, it was like a full circle moment because my dad's dad was in the military, and then for me being in the military, and then like all my cousins now, it was just like kind of like not like a guy thing for the family, but it pretty much was like we all collectively.
And I was in the military in school
because we did that. Like our fathers did that as well. Like my cousins, their fathers were all in the military as well, and so like that really influenced the reason why I joined.
It was just in it. Period. That was where I was going, but I had to sign you over.
Okay,
I did Air Force.
I'm gonna tell you mine.
Mine was Air Force in the school.
I needed a job and room and board fast.
You needed a job and what fast?
A job and room and board.
Oh, word.
So
I mean, hey, it is what it is. Whatever to be. If you look percentage wise of like people who actually join the military and make it in the military, I mean, it's a very slim percentage. So either way, you're doing something that most people can't do. I mean, even for whatever reason, it's an accomplishment because most people just ain't putting their name on a line and signing it over to Uncle Sam. Man, and that's what we did.
I I graduated on a Thursday and was on Paris. I was in Paris Island by Monday night.
What?
We-
Oh,
But
God
you
bless.
know what too? You know what too though back then, Juan? Like I think he went in back around the time when your dad went in and stuff. There was a lot of people back then that was your dad's friends that they actually had people join the service instead of going to jail.
Yeah, I was
He
one
had
of
because
them,
he
too.
had
I
yeah,
was, I was that close to being. Yeah.
yeah, well, this one dude that I know for a fact that actually came one of your dad's good friends, and he was from Philly. They when I think he went to court or something, and they was like, well, you could join the military, and they actually had him join the service instead of going to jail. Like back then, Juan, you too funny. You can read, you can see your lips moving, Juan. You know you're yelling at the dog.
I'm not yelling at anybody. Praise God.
Back in them days, she's right, especially during the Vietnam War and what was it, Grenada and all that when it still had the draft. Yeah.
We ain't going that far back, but he was definitely his war was what was his war? Desert Storm. I think wasn't his Desert Storm? Yeah, his war was Desert Storm. That was when they were taking people then too. He had his was the Desert Storm war.
And mine was Iraqi freedom, baby.
Yeah.
See, all I did was fix refrigerators and stuff. Like
You need them though. You need those refrigerators.
You do, and
never,
again, you still was in the middle. Like you still did something that most people couldn't, wouldn't, and wasn't doing. But it still is something that, to this day, to be a veteran, I'm so proud because it's something I made a decision, and I said it at such a young age. But it's also a decision that to change my life and influence other people's as well, because it's not something that everybody can and will.
I mean, it did.
But you know what too though, Juan? Looking at it on my end of it too, you got to finish out and do what I couldn't at the time because, like I said, I was 18. I had things that happened. I won't dwell on them.
Like me, I was one of those things that happened.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. And I had a plan. I had a lineup. I had, I wasn't going to the service because of other, my mom, dad, whoever. I wanted to go in there because I wanted to. I had 4 years of service in the in school. Like that was something that I really wanted to do. And so when you say accomplishments, so when I look and see, okay, well, you know what, you actually went in, you did, that looks to me like, okay, well, you were able to do and go out and finish something that I haven't. You can live vicariously through your children.
Yeah, which is another reason why I know how proud my parents were of me being in the military. And that was another reason why, which makes the accomplishment so great. Because if it was just like this flaunted out thing, like I think it would be different. But at the fact that I know I made my parents proud doing that.
And I'm also proud of Brittany. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things that where her life could have been different. You know what I'm saying? And so the things that she's accomplished and that she's done, and I thank God for them because you're saying that there's people that surround you to help to mold you into the person that you become. And when you look at it, you be like, you know what? Thank you, God. By the grace of God, good job. And so you can look at your kids as being a great accomplishment.
For sure, definitely. Even the little one, he's an accomplishment.
And the little one, what I look at with him also is that, I mean, he's not into the workforce and in really living life yet. But what I've experienced with him that also gives me joy is the fact that people, when they meet him in the streets, they meet him before they meet me. And so when I say, oh yeah, that's my son, they're like, that's your son? Oh, he's a nice kid. He's very respectable and yada, 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 yada.
Helping us out. He's always getting
he helps us out. Exactly.
He's always coming to the store for me.
And I told him, and I tell the people that say it to me, I said, I don't want to hear anything different. I don't want somebody coming to me and saying, oh, well, yeah, he was ignorant. He was this. I said, so I thank God that he's respectful. And I thank God that he, looks out for older people and, the kid even looks out for the little kids a lot of times and stuff when they're around here. He does care. And his heart he means well.
His heart's in the right place. Always room for growth. It's in the right place.
Right. But it's that seed. That's what I'm saying. It always goes back to that seed is planted to where he does have that in him to actually be a caring kid and, and stuff like that. And that's not something that comes easy. When a lot of even teachers and stuff like that, they'll say, oh yeah, you know what, he is respectful. I'm like, okay, well, should he not be? Is there, like, to me, I'm looking at it like, is there any other way to be? As a child, he should respect you because you're the adult figure that's over him. Are you kidding me?
Like when I was younger, the same thing where it's like, well, he doesn't, is he supposed to, like?
Right. That was true. That was true, Juan. That was a situation of where Juan was in elementary. Juan was in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a phone call, and it was one of the teachers. I think it was the secretary in the office. And she says, Miss Gladney, she was like, your son's not scared of anything. And I'm not sure how. I'm like, ma'am, wait a minute. First of all, what do you mean? What should he be scared of? Oh, well, he's just not scared of, what she said, authority figures or something like that. I said, well, okay, ma'am, hold on. I said, is he disrespectful? Oh, no, he's not being disrespectful, but he's just not scared by the principal. I was like, ma'am, I don't raise my children to be scared of anybody. I was like, so as long as he's not being disrespectful to the principal, no, he's not going to fear the principal. He shouldn't, because you have to think of it this way too. If I raise my children to be scared of principal, police, and stuff like that, then where are they going to go to when they're in trouble? You understand what I'm saying? That's where I was thinking. If my son is too scared to talk to the principal or too scared to talk to a police officer, then where do
God
they go?
forbid something happens, who am I going to go to?
Exactly.
Somebody did something to me they were supposed to, or adult did something or anything like that. Who am I going and talking to if I'm so afraid, petrified of authoritative figures are people who are older than me? I think that also came from too, and I don't know if I ever told you this. I had a teacher, I ain't gonna say her name because she might see this, but I had a teacher who was very physical. She used to grab my arm and like walk me to the door, and she used to put me in the corner like real rough. And it was right around that time. And it's crazy because again, I was never a disrespectful kid. My only problem I ever had in school always was that I talked too much, which, listen, it is what it is. That still has not changed. But yeah, I was never disrespectful. I've never been a disrespectful kid because I just knew that I was installed with common sense, first off, because I know if I was being disrespectful in school and I got home and she found out I was saying something,
you used to get bored what was going on in class. That's what it was.
Like, I never had a problem with academics. Like, that was easy. And there was no problem with that. But then you get bored and you want to talk, or you like, I feel like now kids have opportunities to be taught in so many different ways that as back in the day, or even like when you were in school, they didn't teach kids those different type of ways to learn. There was only one way you had to learn, which was the teacher was talking in the front. You were paying attention, you write down whatever. All kids don't learn like that. I'm a very visual person. I'm a very hands-on, like it's different ways to teach children. And I think that was what my issue was, that I would get antsy. I would want to get up, or I'd want to like do different things as an outlet, because you a kid and you in the school for 8 hours at a desk. You only get a half an hour lunch and a half an hour and a 15-minute break. That's a lot for a kid to be sitting still at a desk, no talking. Oh no.
Yeah, and see, but with me, when you were talking about as far as learning and everything, I did things different. I would come up with different scenarios and stuff, especially in math. Like I would when we were being taught, okay, this, and this, the straight way to come up with an answer to a problem, I did a roundabout backhand.
Same way.
I did that, but wait. But see, this is the thing though. My math teacher used to sit there and be like, well, how'd you get this answer? And he told me that if I could prove that I can work, that scenario would work every time, he was like, then you'd have a whole nother scenario, what is it when you come up with something like, not a scenario, but the way of doing things, a whole different method or system. Yeah. And, in high school, you just want to get high school done and over with. So I didn't sit there and be like, well, you know what? Hey, you're right. Let's sit down and do this. So I just gave it to him the way I did, and I just kept doing that. But that was my thing. Even though like you said, you're taught one way, I did it and flipped it around and come up with the answer a different way. And that's so happening all the time.
Same thing with math. it's weird you say that. I was the same way specifically with math. I would always, you had to do, we were taught to do division a certain way. And I know I remember like it was yesterday, the way that they were taught to do division, I didn't comprehend division the same way. So I would take it because in my mind, I thought in groups. So I would like, if I had to do, if it was like 4 with a remainder of 5, I had to break it down a certain way where I can visually see it because I was very visual, but I had to do it in groups. Then it would be broken down in groups of 5 or whatever. Like it was weird, but I always came to the right answer. And I always got stuck with that too. Like, as long as you can, show your work or whatever, like you fine. But with math specifically, that's the same exact way. I don't know if everybody is like that, but
like I said, I would do that, and actually, like even like when I when I think of people's ages, when and Shelly be like, oh, that's so dumb. Because I like depending on the back year that you were born, because you were say your year is is 8.
8, yeah.
Okay, so that means that your 0 year is 8. So because this is 8, this is you're 8, right? You're 8, and this is 2, 1. So 8 and 3 is 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're 33 this year.
Gotcha.
You see it?
Yeah.
Because the 8
The 8
and that 1 makes the 3. So if your 0 year, so it would be 33. Yeah, and that's how I think of it. And when I think of people's age,
funny,
I'm like,
even say it, I break it down a different way because you're saying the 8, the 2, that's the 1. The 2, I'm thinking of the 2, it would be 2 more. Well, it probably can't be
the
like
0 year,
but it's the 0 year,
10.
so it's 2
Yep.
more, so 20. That's how I comprehend it.
Right.
And so you add the 20 plus the 11. That's funny. That is so fun. I've never thought of it like that, but that's how I comprehend it.
Yep. And and that's how I take, like, whoever's year it is, like grandmom is 7. She's 37. The 37 year, 1937. So I'm like, all right, so when they be talking about her age, I'm like, okay, but this is 21. So 7 and what is 11? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So she's 84. She just turned 84.
That's funny.
Yeah, because the 0 year would be 20. So the 21 makes it 11. You get it?
Yep. Yeah.
So
I get it a different way, but I get it. Like I get it differently. That is funny.
That's how I kind of do it that way. Like it's crazy, but it's just.
Wait, what I wanted to say too. So before we wrap it up.
Malik was listening. I think he's still in there. I'm not sure. Hey, Malik.
What up, Malik? Before we
today is just a rap session.
Yeah, so before we wrap it up. So I did wrap it up. I kind of wanted to see where your head was at as far as accomplishment that maybe has not come yet, but an accomplishment that you think will be up there with one of the greatest accomplishments, but that has not yet to have come into fruition. And then also with that, where do you see yourself doing to accomplish that, or what have you been doing to put that into fruition to come soon?
Okay, I'm gonna say you gonna go first? You wanna?
Yeah, I can go first, or you can go. It don't matter. I got mine already in the pocket. So if you want me to just go ahead. So for myself, I take it back to the time of vision, which I dedicate to 2020. Because again, it was a time for us to kind of sit back and not have as much noise because we were in quarantine. There were things that God had showed me prior to that I felt were coming into play around that time. And then I feel like I knew within 2 years of that specific year that certain things were going to come into play because of what God had put already inside of me. So just to make that picture a little clearer, there were things that I felt like had brought me up to this moment, things that I had been inspired by, things that I have learned, and things that I wanted to do, and things that I wanted to be or seen myself being. And I felt like had prepared me for this moment. So with all that being said, certain things that I've always been drawn to as just holistic holistic things, and as far as like health wise. So I've been training since I was in the military. I've been training myself and others as well. That's something that I love doing. Certified trainer, and then also holistic medicine, which is something that I also picked up in the military. So I read books. I went to school. I love doing that. So I know that the two things will merge one day, and that'll be part of something bigger. And so when I say one of my greatest accomplishments that have not come to fruition yet, but I see the pieces of the puzzle being put together with that would be, pieces of the puzzle being put together is I hope to one day have a cafe that provides different modalities of holistic living as well, and then also different food. And it's an atmosphere that not is just one that you would walk into and have a meal, but it's also somewhere that it's a place of healing. So also it would be as far as like it being something that bleeds out into a bigger thing than just myself. So it bleeds out to the community, environment, it's that whole thing without giving up too much, because you know what I'm saying, I can't be giving you my damn, you know, that's in a turn around.
I have some, I'm smiling because mine intertwines with that.
All right. So yeah. So that is something that I feel like I've been in training, because you know how you kind of like training and back to like the military thing. I kind of been in boot camp for this. I feel like with the year 2020 and then what I've seen projected for 2021 and 2022 is when God had got those gears going again. It was kind of like he was like, hey, and more vision. Turning. Yeah, more vision was brought to the table, and almost like a blueprint. And so that's where I'm at right now. And I feel like it's a lot closer now than than it had ever been before. Again, this is not a new idea, but this is an idea that I've seen the Lord expand on, and I have an opportunity to like co-labor with him to do, and it's pretty awesome. So I know I don't say like it might happen. I say like it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Excited.
It's gonna happen.
That accomplishment when it happens, because I know it's bigger than myself.
Right. I think of one thing.
Real quick before you go, start thinking disco because you're next. All right, go ahead.
This platform here is one thing that I thank God for, because this is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to. I actually always wanted to do radio.
Got the voice.
And that's what a lot of people used to say. Oh, you have that voice. You have that voice. Like I heard that a lot when I used to announce the videos for Urban Expressions. And that's when people were like, oh my God, who's that voice? Who's that voice? So it was like
the face behind the voice, guys.
Yes. And what happened, it was a lot of the times, really, it was like that mellow, soothing voice. So it was like that laid back, like, and now we have our next video is da 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 da. So it was like, cool, you know. So I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. So that was one thing. The other thing, Juan, which is
just went into it. You went into the voice. I need you to.
I did, because I'm thinking.
You went right into the voice, like right on cue.
I'm thinking, because when you were talking about the cafe and everything, they opened up a new cafe around here, and then I thought about it. But I looked into a story of Mahalia Jackson. You know Mahalia Jackson, the singer. She was a woman who was very solid with what she knew that she wanted to do. Like they wanted to put her, have her sing secular music. She didn't want to do that. They wanted to have, like, she knew exactly what she wanted to do and where, you know, God had her gifts and all that. And one of the very interesting things is that I saw on her was that she would do Sunday dinner for the homeless every Sunday. And it started out as just, you know, around the dinner table, whatever. Then it got bigger and bigger. So, and she would cook the food. Mahalia Jackson would be cooking the food and for these people, and she funded it on her own. Like, so that was something that I was talking about recently that I really enjoy. But we used to go to city teams, and each first Wednesday of the month, and I did it through the church and all of that. But what ended up happening was it would be me, Joshua, and whoever else would come with us. I would bring the word, which to me was awesome. And it was also a situation of where I had to pray about this a lot, because when you're speaking about God or you're bringing the word and you're amongst people who are addicts, recovering addicts, on the streets, halfway on the street, not on the street. Like you have an audience of where you do not want to come to them and bring them the Christ that you serve as I'm better than you. So it was like a situation of where I had to go in a deep prayer where I'd be like, God, please, when you use me, let me bring this to where you would have me touch them. And I would also ask God, I would say, and this is where I had this prayer, and I tell you, God is faithful ever since. He's never not let me know that at least one person received his word. When I used to do city teams, I sat and I said to him, I said, please, God, let me get a sign that at least one person is getting your word or has heard you. He's done it every time. It may even be more than one person, but he's done it every single time. And I thank him for it. And that's one of them situations where I tell people, we're the ones that's not unfaithful. He's faithful. You got to open your eyes and see that, because he gives it to me every single time. If I'm bringing a word, or if I'm talking to somebody in the street, he'll give me something that be like, they received it. They got it. I used you, my child. They got it. And that's awesome. But I really want to be able to do a dinner for for people who don't know what it's like to have that family around the table. You know what I'm saying? To sit down and just bust it up and crack jokes and, you know what I mean, and have fun in a family setting. Because even though people live at home, you think that they do that. They eat in separate rooms. They don't eat at the table when they have dinner. You know, one's upstairs, one's downstairs.
One's in front of the TV.
One's in front of the TV. Or, oh, you know what? Just leave the plate there. They'll come back and get it. No, we don't do. Even if we all had our own separate whatever, we still come to the table when it was time to eat. Like, even if we weren't sitting at the table, we're all in that one room or the chairs with the plates on our laps or something, but we're all right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like yeah, Shelly's saying like the great family gathering. Yeah. We love city teams, and I know she came up there too. She's done that too before. And it really is awesome. And it's just listening to people and letting them know that, you know what, even though we're in situations that we are, really, God really does have us. We have to know that, like, he's got us. It's really up to us to know and see that he is there. Like, people don't realize how many situations have you been in, and you know darn well that anything could have happened to you. You could have got hit by that car. You could have got kidnapped. I got in somebody's car when I was a teenager, didn't know the man, but I was scared of my mother. I had to get home. And I'm sitting there holding the door like this, because I'm like, Debbie gonna kick my butt. I gotta get home. And I'm way out in somebody's North Philly. My mother's in the North. We lived in the Northeast. And my buses was running. I'm holding on to the door. And when I look back at that, I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, God, there's no way that you wasn't with me. You had to be with me. And then here I am sizing this man up. I'm like, oh, he kind of big. He heavy. He can't run. I could run. So if I unlock the door, I can run it. Like, just dumb stuff, dumb stuff that you think, but you like the whole time, like, you know what, my child, do not know the danger that you were in. Like, God really was there. Like, it's crazy. And you have to look, hey, bro, my biological brother is watching. Hey, bro, what's up? Sure, Uncle Donald. But I guess to go to say is that I really want to start doing that. And then just even thinking about with him just coming on, we're a cooking family. You know what I mean? So food is nothing to get it in, you know what I'm saying? And so to be able to let people share in that and enjoy that with us while we bust it up and, and speak on, just everything, it's an outlet, and it's a cool, you know what I mean? It's like a cool thing where they can come to and just relax and enjoy a good meal. Amen. That's what I really want to do. really, honestly. And I know God is gonna make things happen because honestly, Juan, this platform right here, I had a dream years ago when you went to that missionary class.
Yeah.
Back then, like years ago, all I saw was me and my family doing missionary work. I didn't see what form it was in. I didn't see how it was to come about, and I didn't even see like the family, but it was family.
Yeah.
You were prominent, definitely, but as far as the other family figures, they weren't quite as clear, but I knew that it was going to be mission work. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we are. We're in this in a family. We have Shelly, we have Disco, we have Cinda, we have all the people that's here on this platform, because even though everybody has different Sin is another one, even though we have people that have different vocal shows, they still have an inspiration where they be like, you know, they give a reference to thank you God, and you know what I mean, and they give references. So this is the family. It's the family. We're built. This foundation that we're here on is built on a solid foundation. Like we were talking, the people behind this, the two CEOs and all of that, and the owners are a solid foundation. You know what I'm saying? And when sand came in, they pushed the sand out. Yes, they built yes, they got rid of the riffraff and they kept it solid. Like this is it. This is it. And so I thank you guys. I mean, this is it. I'm sorry. That's
I appreciate that, but that's where it is. Where it say where. But I also wanted to, that same question to Disco as well.
Oh, and we have a server because Shelly would serve. She just mentioned that she's good at serving.
There you go.
So while she's serving, she's gonna praise the Lord. Here's your food.
Hallelujah.
You know, and if I get it up and running, I know Don's gonna put a meal in, because Don will love cooking. So right. Oh, I'm sorry, Merk as he is on here, Merk. So
yeah. Big Merk.
Yeah, AKA Merk. So we can get it on a food.
You touch that or what?
I don't know. Probably the station. I would have never thought that I would be just a talk show, talk radio. I've always loved talk radio, but I never thought that I would just be doing talk radio. I thought that, the DJ thing, 80% of my time on the air nowadays is straight talk radio. And I'm good at it. I didn't know I was good, but as Shelly says, I like to talk. But I'm also like a Russell Simmons. Like I like to set other shows up.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people doing shows, I came to them like, yo, I think you should try this.
Yeah.
Most times it worked. There were a couple that were duds, but for the most part, 6 out of 10 ain't bad.
No, that's what's up. I mean, that's how we were birthed. That's how this was birthed and put into play. So I mean, I could definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I said it's the foundation, a solid foundation. You have a vision, you put it out there, and it rolls, and it's the foundation. What's up?
It's about that.
I really enjoyed the sharing for today. We're definitely going to have a topic coming up. We have some inspirational music. We appreciate you guys listening to our take. We got inspiration today. I'm not sure if you guys want to tap into some sports. I have to we're gonna step off early.
We might as well, because I missed the Sixers game. I slept right through it.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I forgot the Sixers was, playing today.
Yeah.
Somebody text me the score or something. I don't even know what's up.
They've been doing pretty good there.
No, I didn't even think about it till you just said sports. I was like, oh dang, the Sixers played Atlanta today. Second round.
Yep.
Oh, well, I
It's
catch you.
still, if I'm not mistaken, it's still on. Oh no, wait, 128 to 124. We lost.
How you lose to Atlanta? All right, we ain't even gonna go there. I'm hungry.
Yep, Atlanta Hawks. It was 128 to 124.
All right, I'm hungry. The wife lit the grill. All right, I don't even want to
Yeah.
talk about it. See,
Yeah.
I mean, the scoring was kind of up and down, but from the first quarter to the fourth, what it looks like is like they were kind of
They-
steady. We started out, we had 27. We didn't make any scores. We had 27 in the second half. So they kind of was coming out to play like they were going in.
they need
The
Embiid.
most that we scored was in the fourth quarter, but by that time it looks like we was trying to catch up instead of playing from the gate, like coming out like strong. We played catch up when we got to the fourth.
Wow.
So that's kind of what that went. I mean, and 128 to 124, a loss is a loss, but that's terrible. That little bit.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that is.
All right, y'all. That's my take then. Damn, Sixers lost. I'm gonna go get me something to eat. What else can you do?
Yeah.
For the Atlanta Hawks, 128 to 124.
Man, it's hot as stolen goods out there, so it's hot.
Yeah, so we're gonna take it light. We're gonna cool out and relax. Again, you guys are listening to Our Take on the Grown Folks Radio, and you have Monty on the scene.
And your boy Freckles. And thanks for coming through. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy
Yes.
this weather. Don't melt like a popsicle out there because it's definitely blazing hip hop and R&B. But thanks for stopping by.
That's how
But
we
don't
do it. Thanks to
forget-
Random Black Guy for
Don't
joining
forget,
us.
8 o'clock. We doing some more. 8 o'clock is Old School Sunday. We're doing some more hip hop versus Motown. That's hot.
Okay. Yeah, I was listening.
Uh,
Got that mix going in there.
we're gonna have
That's how we
DMX
do.
doing the mashed potato. You know what I mean?
Okay. Run it in.
Remy-
Run it in.
Remy gonna be doing the bop.
Stop the madness. That's what's up. You know how we bring it to you. So again, we thank you guys for listening to Our Take and watching Our Take here on Facebook. Random Black Guy, we thank you for popping in, giving your comments. And so, as we always tell you here, one,
To thyself, be true.
to thine own self be true. Words of Disco's mama.